Greetings, this is Deanne, and in this video, we're going to take a look at 3 ways to copy content from one course that you teach into another. You may do this, for example, if you're going from quarter to quarter. You have a lot of content, or maybe all of the content that you have from one quarter and you want to bring it into another one, or semester to semester, or year to year. So you have the option for really pretty much any course and for any reason you want to bring that content. So the 3 ways are, the first one is that you want to bring everything over, so you do a complete course copy. The other one is sort of a partial. You have a lot of content to bring in, but not everything, and you want to have some control over what to bring in. And the third one that I call sort of piecemeal, where you're already teaching and then you remember that you've got something in another course, you want to bring it over because you don't want to repeat that work because you've already got it done. So let's take a look at how to do all 3 ways. First, I'm going to set up my workflow by setting up my tabs for this work. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm here on my dashboard. I'm going to do a right click on the course that I'm copying from. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to right click on top of that name, open it up in a new tab. And the reason I want to do this is I want to make sure that this is the course that I'm copying from. I'm not misremembering what's in there. I look to see what's there. This is the course that I'm copying from. I'm going to go back to my dashboard and find the course that I'm copying into. And here's my Q2 course. I'm going to open that up in a new tab. I just hover over the name and it opens up in a new tab with a right click. And here I see my completely blank course. So let me move myself out of the way. We're going to do a complete course content copy, the whole thing. So I'm going to click here. I'm on my home page, and on the right, I see import existing content. And here in the middle, you'll see that I have this import content. Click on the down arrow, and I'm going to select copy a Canvas course. Now I can bring information. Let's say I taught in another district. I did a Canvas course. I exported it before I left, and I'm importing it into the PPS Canvas. You can do that. Or from a different learning management system. Many of them will work here in Canvas. But I'm going to click right now for copy a Canvas course. I need to look for a Canvas, a course that I own. Now I can start typing if I want to, but because I have this open, I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to copy, Control C, and I am going to paste that, Control V right here, and it's going to show me any of the courses that match that name. If you don't see anything on that name, that means it's not correct, and you can only do it based on this name. So I'm going to select that. In this case, I am going to be selecting all the content. I'm not going to select partial content. So I'm going to click on all. I can also click here on the adjust the events and due dates. So for example, this might be used if your quarter 1 class is the exact same thing in quarter 2, or semester 1 and semester 2 are identical courses, and you don't want to have to go back and change every single due date. You can shift the due dates by clicking on that option right there. In this case, I'm just going to click on import. Now, just a tip, make sure that you've got everything right here, because as soon as I click on import, it begins the work. All right, so it's going to run. Now I know already that this one has a few issues. It's because I have some links and that don't exist in this other course. And so in this case, it's going to give me a couple of errors, but I'm not going to worry about them. So it's completed. It's not bright green, which is when it's absolutely perfect import. In this case, there are a couple of issues in this course, and they have to do with some learning outcomes that I haven't set up, but that's okay. All right, so let's take a look at this course now that is copied. It took about 30 seconds. And you'll see here that my 2 tabs are now identical. So my from course and my to course, exactly the same things. My links are working. I have an announcement that's already in there. My course navigation is identical to my first course. So everything is done except I haven't published and I haven't made any adjustments. Let me check my modules. Let's see. There we go. There are all my modules. And I believe in my modules here, my from course my courses are identical. All right. So that was our first way. We just went to home to recap, and I clicked on import existing content. Give me a moment. I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to clean up this course so there's nothing in it, and we're going to bring in just some of the content from my Q1. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and I have cleaned up that Q2 course. There's nothing in here again. All of my course menu is back to where it was, my default setting. So I still want to bring in a lot from Q1, but not everything. So I'm going to click here again on my import existing content. I'm going to click on this down arrow here. I'm going to copy that course, and I am going to paste in the name of that course, select the course that I'm coming from. Again, I like this workflow because it helps me make sure that I don't make a mistake of where I'm coming from, to and from. But instead of clicking on all content, now I'm going to select specific content. And this is particularly helpful when there's still a lot that I want to bring in, or there's some course settings, some things that are harder to copy. If like you can't actually piecemeal a copy, that's when I'm going to use this. So I'm going to click on import again, check all the things here. Yep, that's what I want to do. And it's not going to do anything for me. It's waiting for me to make a selection. So in this case, I'm going to click on select content. And the default is that nothing is selected. But what I know is that there are some things from Q1 that I really want to bring into course 2. I don't want to redo that work. So the first one is the course settings. I already know that the course menu here on the left-hand side, there's a lot of work that went into making it all organized and what's visible to the students, what's not. My syllabus was also complete. I liked my modules. There are a couple of things I don't want to bring in, and I'm going to bring in all my files. I don't want to bring in my learning outcomes this time. I do want to bring in my rubrics. Let me check and see if there's an announcement. Yep, I do want that one. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Monday morning announcements. Pages, I don't want all of my pages. I do want my week 2, the tool and the lessons. I believe I want to bring those in. I want to bring in my home page, which was the welcome to music, because that was pretty cool, and my lessons for my tools and structures. So I've got several things there that I want to bring in. Not everything, but there are certain things I do want to bring. So you know what? I think actually there may be some assignments, and I'm not sure which ones they are. I'm almost positive they were the lessons and participation, so I'm going to bring all of those in. Note here that the check mark means everything in that folder. So if there's a folder here, everything is being brought in. The minus sign means that there are just some of the items in that folder that you're bringing in, and completely blank means you're not bringing anything in from that course. So I'm going to go ahead and click on select the content. It's queued up, and it's going to now bring in all of that work. Again, I may have a few errors, and that's because I'm bringing it in from a sandbox and not everything is complete. And you'll see here that I do have one issue, probably a missing link to a page that I brought in, and I didn't bring in everything that I needed. All right, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and click on home, and you'll see that I have, it looks like it's almost an identical thing. It's just that I didn't bring in absolutely everything. My modules will probably not be as complete because of the way that what I actually brought in. All right. So that was our second way, where I have my first course, my second course, and in the second course, when I clicked on the import the existing content, I used the option here to just bring part of the content in. Now let's take a look at the third option, which is I'm in my second course, and there's a quiz that I had from my first quarter that I want to bring in into my second option, or my second course. So I'm not going to be copying from. In this case, I'm going to go back to that Q1. I'm going to go into my quizzes. And on this page, I see all of my quizzes. And I'm going to click here on copy to. Now you'll notice that there's also a send to. That's if you want to send that quiz to a colleague that's in Canvas and you can send it to them. So if you've done all the work as part of a PLC, one person does the work, then everybody can get a copy. That's what you're going to use. That's probably better at this point. I would say probably a better option than sharing to the Commons because this gives you control of who is actually going to see it. But in this case, I'm copying it to another course. And in this case, I need the name of this course. So again, by having those two tabs open, I can toggle back and forth really quickly. I can start typing the name of that course. Here's the name of that course. I'm going to click on it. And I'm not going to yet click copy. I have control here about where I'm going to drop that information. Now, if I don't do anything and I click on copy, it's just going to put it in my folder that's called quizzes, and it'll just put it at the bottom, probably in a folder called imported quizzes or imported assignments. But I actually know exactly where I want that, or at least I just don't want to have as many clicks to put it. So I'm going to select a module. The quiz was a tool, so I'm going to put it into week 3. And the default is to put it right at the top of that one. I'm actually going to say that I want to put it after the lesson. So I've got, I'm bringing it into the Q2, I'm bringing it into week 3, and I'm putting it after the lesson. And so what's really nice about that is those 3 clicks just saved me a little bit of work over in my Q2. It's done. I come over to Q2. I'm going to go over to my modules and I'm going to look down here and there's my quiz that just came in from the Q1. So to recap, you can bring all of the course material from Q1, Q2, S1, S2, this year, last year. You can bring that in, the entire thing. You also have the option to do selected content, so you can pick and choose which parts. That's really helpful, especially if you spend a lot of time on course settings to not have to redo all of that work. And then the third one is what I call piecemeal, which is just to be able to go into your original course, and copy to the other course. By the way, on the copy to, you can do an entire module that way. So if I click on this module and I forgot to bring it, I can also send that to somebody else, and I can also copy it to another existing course. So I hope that this has been helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Have a great time copying your courses. Bye-bye.